And what exactly were you doing? I mean, I don't know the space at all, but I guess short terms, layman's terms.
Yeah. Well, in order for a market to, like if I wanted to go into the market today and buy electricity or buy natural gas, let's say I just want to take a position on natural gas. It's a huge market. That wouldn't have been available 20 years ago. You couldn't, a guy like me couldn't buy a futures contract on nat gas. What used to happen, and this is the way all markets work, and it's good for your audience to understand, like, you know, when a country's being put together, it's really important that they have water, natural gas, electricity, heating, plumbing. How does it get there? Well, brand new country, there's no roads, there's no infrastructure. What the government does, it issues these long-term bonds, and it says, hey, we're going to build power stations, we're going to build a grid, and they give Duke power. Hey, Duke, you have a monopoly, go get it, Duke. And the more money you spend, we're going to let you make 12%. You spend $1, we're going to make, and that lasts for 30, 40 years. And there comes a point when the entire map is built, everything's structured, okay, all the roads are built, where guys like me walk in and go, hey, this market, you know, this market's oversupplied now.
Yeah.
Because the incentives cost plus. There's nobody here competing. Exxon and Mobil aren't competing with anybody. The pipelines aren't competing with each other because their job is not to compete. Their job is to build all the infrastructure for a country so it could be a first world nation. Okay, nat gas and oil and electricity define whether a country is first, second, or third world nation, period. That is period it, dude. That is the thing that defines whether you are a first, second, or third world nation. Makes me sure that Europe is going to decline as a continent economically because they produce nothing. They will always be the tail wagging, looking for supply, right? And that's why they'll do what they're getting ready to do, which is issue multi-trillion-dollar bonds and nuclearize the entire continent, nuclearize it, put nukes there, because they're net negative. But they will go broke doing it.
That's the fear here, right? I mean, if we're not pumping our own gas and oil, and we're not.
It's awesome that we have done what we've done. We through innovation have, in $10 to $30 crude oil, have developed fracking.
Right.
We're the most sophisticated energy source on planet Earth. So anyway, what happened was the government came in, and they said everything they're saying about Bitcoin to us. There was about 50 men that were in the market. The government came in and said, we want no more cost plus. All the contracts that have ever been signed, you can walk away from them tomorrow morning. We want the market to work. And Gary Cardone, if he wants to buy capacity on a pipeline, he gets to buy pipeline capacity just like driving on a road at the same price as Exxon Mobil, DuPont, Shell Oil Company, Ford Motor Company, anyone.
So this just dropped a bomb in the market.
Yes, a massive nuclear weapon, basically, because anytime a market's been given cost plus, you will always have a massive overhang of supply because there was no constraints on.
Yeah.
They're buying energy for a 1 in 100 year weather event. So anytime there's deregulation, I have learned, one, it's really good for a lot of people. It's really great for the industry. Okay, the industry in natural gas, I just interviewed my boss who had the guts to hire me. And he'll tell you he hired me.
That's awesome.
He'll hire me because I was a rogue player.
Yeah.
Like he needed a guy that was edgy. He had plenty of guys that came from the old world, but what he didn't have was somebody that'd go fight for a nickel or 20 cents or 30 cents. Now, the price of natural gas was $7.63 when this happened. The price of gas today is $3. It saw $7.63 one time in the last 25 years. So what happened? Competition, opening a market up to trade freely, went from a 17 billion cubic foot a day market to 117 billion cubic feet a day market. Okay, an 11xer in volume, size, quantities, and everything. And it did not require long-term contracts. It did not require subsidies from the U.S. government. All it required was stay the fuck out of the market, government.
Right.
let the market work. Do not intervene. California had a problem when Enron was jacking around with it. Everybody got their stuff. Everybody got their energy. Nobody died, okay? The difference was how much you paying. And that's a real market. And that market today is still the most firm market in the world, bar none. The European market, the same. We went to Europe. I went to Europe and basically restructured the way they did all of their trading of nat gas electricity. And that market now is about 40% cheaper than it was before we got there. These markets actually work well when they're not intervened with.
It's kind of like prescription drugs, right? I think Florida is the first state now that's going to be able to import, I believe, some sort of insulin medication from Canada. So more supply will hopefully ease the price level, right? Basic economics. It's the same thing with anything, right? Essentially.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So you were in that particular company for 17 years, and you did very well. You made some dough, and then you cleared out and you moved to London, right?
Well, that was the company.
Oh, that was the company.
I'm 3 years in the natural gas clearinghouse, and they're now 600 people. I was the 12th employee, private company.
Holy shit.
And I noticed I travel around with it. And I wrote down on a piece of paper one day, I'm 3 years, 3 years into the business with them, and had found my home. Dude, I knew, okay, this might not be the coolest home in the world. It doesn't have Chevron's name on it, but these Bulldogs, I like these guys.
Yeah.
I didn't hang out with them. I didn't party with them, but I loved going to work Monday through Friday, dude. I loved going to the stadium and punching with these guys, right? It was, for me, it was an athletic experience.
Yeah.
But I realized that everyone that was my senior, there was 6 or 7 guys that came in before me. They were all my age, man. And I'm
wow.
Dude, this is going to be tough.
It sounds like almost like a startup.
Dude, it was a total, are you kidding? It was a total
literally a startup.
Oh, no one expected us to survive.
So what are the numbers? I mean, you were the 12th employee to over 600. What about,
we ended up 6,000 people, dude. It's $30 billion company, man.
Wow.
It was a unicorn before the word unicorn meant anything other than unicorns.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even know what we were doing. I interviewed the guy. His name's Steve Bergstrom. It is literally my favorite interview about 2 guys grossly underestimating, man, these opportunities. This is why I'm so big on blockchain and Bitcoin. My conviction level is so massive because I've seen natural gas turned into a 30-day product, a 1-day pricing product, and the market worked. Electricity to 30 minutes.
Right.
Okay, I have been responsible for the entire nuclear power industry in the UK going bankrupt. Okay, because you put in proper trading mechanisms. Now you say, hey, what do you mean it went bankrupt? Not 1 kilowatt stopped flowing. All that happened was under true market conditions, the nuclear power company had been able to, in the past, just flow into the grid and get paid the average price. He wasn't being paid for, nuclear power stations are a problem because they just flatline. There's no modulation. So everyone else, you don't turn a nuclear power station off. So when we put in proper trading rules, price got crushed. The nukes couldn't play. They have to claim bankruptcy. They call the Germans. The British call the Germans. The Germans buy the paper from them. And Monday morning, it's RWE, or the German power station, and it literally just the name changes.
Yeah.
But all the units traded, everything worked, and you effectively took away all monopoly and oligopoly, duopoly type construct control from the major players in the field.
And then
unbelievable that you could do that. 50 guys, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't even sound like a real business. It's so heady for someone like me that's not in the space. But for the consumer, it sounds like it worked out great.
Yeah.
Right? They get less expensive product, less expensive energy.
Yep.
There's more competition, which is safer in case one of the power companies goes bye-bye.
Yep.
If you enjoyed this clip, click here for the full episode and make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.